Mr. Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, graduates, I have the honor of presenting Ernest Preston Manning, statesperson, author, commentator, professor, entrepreneur, and former Member of Parliament. While you might know that he was elected to Parliament in 1993 and re-elected in 1997 and 2000, you might not realize that he taught public policy at the University of Calgary and the University of Toronto. While you might know that he founded two major political parties and served as leader of the opposition, you might not know that he also served as opposition critic for science and technology, an area of special interest and expertise for him. While you might have read his essays in newspapers, you might be less aware of the range of his contributions to Canadian public life. In the last year alone, he has written on Canadian democracy, management, analytics, governance, Western political movements, oil prices, political ethics, and economic diversification. At Carleton University, he is particularly known for having been the first to articulate the need to improve the state of Canadian democracy through education in ethics, communications, and policy development. He has been a tireless supporter of our political management program, helping to ensure its cross-partisan inclusivity, interdisciplinarity, and excellence. While everyone knows that Mr. Manning is from Western Canada, Calgary to be precise, where he works as a teacher and mentor, you might not know that he is a companion of the Order of Canada, a member of the Alberta Order of Excellence, and a member of the Queen's Privy Council for Canada. Mr. Chancellor, in recognition of exemplary and thoughtful leadership in strengthening democracy in Canada, I request that you confer the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, upon Ernest Preston Manning.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors and upon recommendation by the University Senate, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Congratulations.
Well, Chancellor Chee, President Runta, distinguished guests, graduates, and ladies and gentlemen, I want to begin by simply saying thank you to Carleton for awarding me this honorary degree, and I promise to treasure it, to display it, and to endeavor to live up to the high standards that Carleton expects all its degree recipients to maintain. Secondly, I want to extend my personal congratulations to all of you who are graduating today and join with you in thanking those that have helped you along the way. This is truly your day, and it's on you and your future careers and your future contributions to society that our thoughts are rightly focused. When I consider the impressive academic credentials and achievements of Carleton's faculty and graduates, I'm conscious of how modest my own academic pursuits have been. I attended the University of Alberta, whose Latin motto encourages its students to pursue whatsoever things are true. So I started my pursuit of truth by studying physics, but I couldn't handle the math, so I went into economics. Because in economics, you can change the assumptions to make the math work. And you might suggest that I abandoned the pursuit of truth altogether because I then went into politics. But now if my academic achievements are ever questioned, I shall simply point to this honorary degree and hope that no further questions are asked about my background. Now, as Professor Azee very kindly mentioned, my main connection with Carleton University has been through the graduate program, the Riddell Graduate Program in Political Management. And it's the first, as he mentioned, the first and only graduate program in political management in Canada. And it's designed specifically to strengthen the knowledge, the skills, the ethics, and the leadership capacity of our political practitioners. And in seeking to convince, I've been involved in trying to convince other Canadians of the need for that kind of training. I've been involved in a number of surveys asking Canadians what characteristics they would most like to see in their political practitioners. And what I want to share with you this morning is the most significant conclusion arising from those surveys. It's a significant conclusion because it not only applies to those in the political field, but also to those of you who will work in journalism, in communications, in public policy, not-for-profit organizations, international relations, and related fields, the very areas where most of you who are graduating today will render public service. In our surveys, we asked a cross-section of Canadians to indicate how important it was to them that their political practitioners be knowledgeable about public issues and governance. We then asked how important it was to respondents that their political practitioners possess certain skills, the ability to communicate, to legislate, and make decisions, for example. And then thirdly, we asked how important was it to Canadians that their political practitioners possess certain character attributes, honesty, integrity, selflessness. And guess which of these three the vast majority of Canadians consider most important? It is not knowledge, important as knowledge is. It is not skills, important as skills are. Rather, it was character that ranked the highest. Attributes like honesty, transparency, integrity, selflessness, and trustworthiness. Over the past few years, you who are graduating today will have greatly increased your knowledge in the discipline of your choice. And that, there's no question, that knowledge will be an enormous asset to you going forward. You have also acquired certain skills, analytic skills, communication skills, team building skills, and those too will be of enormous advantage to you going forward. But may I suggest that at the end of the day, the people you work with and the people you work for will ultimately judge you not so much on what you know or what you can do, but on who you are and what you are. And if your ethical standards are high, if right relations with others are higher among your values and self-advancement, if you're the same person with others that you are in private, you will not only be highly valued and respected by your peers, but you will raise the ethical tone and character of your workplace, your community, and your country. I close with this story from Canadian history. 175 miles off the southeast coast of Nova Scotia, there's a small island called Sable Island. In the 19th century, it was called the graveyard of the Atlantic because hundreds of ships, literally hundreds of ships, foundered on its fog-shrouded shoals and sandbars with great loss of property and human life. Saving ships from foundering on Sable Island became so important that when Canada's Constitution was put together in 1864 and 1867, a special clause was added specifically directing the new national government to erect lighthouses and life-saving beacons on Sable Island. Sable Island is one of the few islands that are actually mentioned in our Constitution. In our world today, there are still dangerous and fog-shrouded shoals and sandbars, ethical shoals and sandbars, on which individuals and organizations are easily shipwrecked, bringing great harm and misery to themselves and to others. The ethical problems of companies like SNC-Lavalin, government institutions like the Canadian Senate, and even sports organizations like FIFA, but recent examples. It's my hope and prayer that graduates of this institution, people of character as well as knowledge and skills, will serve as ethical lighthouses and beacons wherever you are employed, and that your personal constitutions, the rules you choose to live by, will contain a strong commitment to ethical behavior and service. I wish all of you every success in your future endeavors. Thank you very much.